Let's take you to Tshwane, where my colleague Pelane Phakgadi is standing by to speak to a number of students. So while the city hall in Cape Town is almost a hive of activity, or will be later on this evening, do people there where you are care much?
Well, I would like to imagine that each and every single South African would want to care as far as what the president will be saying later on this evening. And it will be affecting the operations of the country going forward for the rest of the year, because there will be expectations from departments, and then later on there will then be the budget speech that will come, and then the budget votes for departments that will also come, all getting trickled down from today's speech in itself as far as expectations concerned. I'm just going to bring in Kevin Phahla. I'm saying Benjamin Phahla because he's the brother to the late Benjamin Phahla, one of the student activists that unfortunately died during the Feast Must Fall activist. And as the president of the TUT SRC, just passing by here in your area, I would assume that you also have expectations as far as what the president should be saying, linking it to your education and the employment.
All right, thank you so much, Phakgadi, as a graduate of TUT. Now, in this regard, as we are anticipating and expecting that the office of the president, Comrade Cyril Matamela, president, is to make it a point that the utterance that is going to utter is basically in support a lot of the convocation, the graduates of the university. Because when it comes to a national funding scheme, which is NFSAS, it is assisting our students, it's a fact, more especially these ones who are not earning at 350,000 plus. They are always funded, those ones. But now there comes a challenge. The ultimate challenge that we're encountering is whereby students, they enter in course like marketing, national diploma in tourism. Then when they graduate, there comes a point of incurring a debt, a point whereby after paying that particular money by NFSAS, now the child is compromised in terms of employment. Therefore, it means the state now is losing resources. Now again, when we look also in terms of the spaces in our institutions of higher learning, we're expecting the president also to have a say in terms of qualifications that are very much effective to employment, fast enough, more especially under health. If you check the requirements criteria of health qualification, those are qualifications that are required by not just the country itself, but globally they're needed, but the requirements are quite steep. Now there comes a question whereby our education system itself, does it assist us also only in taking our demand of national funding scheme only, but employment capacity is not there? What will be the point of us saying that this is TUT, we are saying to students, come and do higher certificate in water sciences. After doing that particular qualification, you are not employable. What is the point in that? So right now, the only challenge that we are going to encounter and debate around and we hope to hear from the office of the president is to ensure that he positions employment, because now we are challenged in terms of unemployment across all the universities, more especially when it comes to TUT. If you look at Soshanguve campus, we are having students under public relations, legal assistance, students under language practice. Both of them, when they don't find employment, they come back, they want to do what? PGCE. Now they come and bring a contestation in the space of education to teach us. Those students who went to education and studied bachelors of education as an NQF level 7, a qualification required for someone to teach and learn. Now anyone goes there and do postgraduate certificate in education. That shows for a fact that the person is not necessarily an ideal teacher, but the person is only there just to seek employment. So the hope that we need to hear from the president is to be there for the graduates, more especially all graduates of all TUT campuses, from Polokwane campus up until Harangua campus, because employment is a challenge. Also moving to the Faculty of Economics and Management Sciences. When you look at Funza Lushaka, it's also not assisting there currently. It shows that economics and management sciences, they are no longer needed by the system. Now, the government itself, through the office of Matama, he must find a way to be there and position our students at large, because we can see all the health workers, let's say for instance, MBCHB, Bachelors of Pharmacy, Bachelors of Dental Surgery, those are still needed skill qualifications. But in terms of intake, let the universities, through the office of the president, allowing the Minister of Higher Education to allow more intake as courses that are required by the country and the economy of the country.
Now, as we wrap up, Kevin, you talk now about access as well in that issue. But there's as well the issue now around colleges that they also need the TVET assistants to come on board. Do you want the president perhaps also to be talking about accelerated skills as far as vocational education?
Thank you very much. That's a key factor. On the 14th of October 2020, we had the protest to National Office of the President, Union Building itself, the House of the State. When we arrived there, we only seek for one thing: equality amongst what the TVET sector and the institutes of higher learning. Because if you check the TVET sectors, our students are compromised in terms of one thing. The skills that they are receiving in the colleges, they are not necessarily empowered in the space of marketing spaces. More especially, let's go to the space of vocational certificate of marketing. Those students, most of them after graduate, let's say for instance, we have TNC, it's here, it's a public college. Most of the students after doing their marketing qualification, they fail to have employment because their qualification is offered in both institutions, TUT as a higher institution, TVET as a college. Now employment, they must all contest for one space. Now the president must come up with a mechanism of a way that's going to allow both TVET sectors to be able to be employable, and when they're employable, also it is dependent on the national funding scheme, treating both higher education institution learners and then equal students from the college sector equally. So, because if they don't receive the equal treatment, I'm telling you, it will forever remain a continuous problem, because we are now segregating the two because of what opportunity-wise is. Let's allow them to be
definitely. Let me leave it there, man. You sound like a river Nile. You can really flow. That is Kevin Phakgadi. He is the SRC president here in the SONA University of Technology Pretoria campuses. And access looks like is a key issue that he wants the president to deal with, as far as access to education, and as well as the environment to ensure that it is ready. That is the job market. It is ready for graduates. And with the high unemployment rate, I'm sure the president will want to talk about how he plans to create some jobs.
Pelane Phakgadi, thank you.